Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to our Week 11 Fantasy Football segment. I am your host, Jim Sell. I'm in studio with Big Easy, J Dash. We about to spit some wide receiver knowledge for you. If you're in a fantasy PPR league, you need to keep listening.
Spread 'em.
Tier 1, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Kelvin Johnson, Demaryius Thomas, A.J. Green, Brandon Marshall, Jordy Nelson, and Emmanuel Sanders with Des Bryant on a bye. This list is getting longer because dudes are dominating these days.
No, that's because everybody throws the ball 55 times a week.
Yeah, well, Kelvin Johnson came back last week and killed it. He had 15 targets, so if you had any doubts about Kelvin Johnson, you were just dead wrong.
If you have any doubts about Calvin Johnson, you need to have your head examined.
Tier 2, Jeremy Maclin, Golden Tate, Elshon Jeffrey, Randall Cobb, T.Y. Hilton, and Kelvin Benjamin.
This Benjamin kid keeps impressing me more every week. Last week he had nothing going until the end of the game. Within the last 2 minutes, he catches 2 touchdown passes. He caused easy a victory in fantasy football, which wasn't exactly as funny as I thought it was to him. But Benjamin just keeps proving he knows how to get it done on the field, even as a rookie.
Yeah. I hate Kelvin Benjamin. Sorry to interrupt you. I hate Kelvin Benjamin. But I'm starting Maclin, Cobb, and Hilton are my starters this week. So
they've been outside of Randall.
Tier 2 PPR beast.
Please believe that.
Macklin's been in my Tier 2 all year. Cobb and Hilton have climbed the list.
Macklin's the reason why I lost last week, though. What do you have last week? 3 for 30.
Nobody does it every week, man.
Except for Calvin Johnson.
Tier 3.
And AB.
Deshaun Jackson,
And
Roddy
Des Bryant.
White, Vincent Jackson. Odell Beckham Jr. jumped the whole way up to Tier 3. And then we got Anquan Bolden and Mike Evans.
Mike Evans has really come into his own here in his rookie season. He's looked really impressive. It's sad he's on Tampa Bay.
Hey,
Yeah, if he had a quarterback, he might actually be doing good.
Josh McCown actually looked good with Mike Evans last week. Evans has 14 catches, 249 yards, and 3 TDs over his past 2 games alone, and he has 5 TDs in his last 5 games played. So whether he has a quarterback or not, he's getting it done. Along with Vincent Jackson, that they're both in Tier 3. Who would have thought 2 Tampa Bay receivers are in Tier 3? Now, Odell Beckham Jr., like I said, he jumped the whole way up to Tier 3. This guy has been a beast since Victor Cruz went down. He does have a tough matchup this week going against SF, who lets up the 12th fuse to fantasy wide receivers. But look at this. He has 20 targets over his past 2 games, and he caught 15 of them for 264 yards. 3 TDs in 5 games played since that Cruz injury, and he's been getting it done. He's actually turned into the number 1 receiver in New York, it looks like.
Let's just hope Eli can get him the ball instead of throwing it to the other team.
Tier 4, Julian Edelman, Brandon LaFell, Andre Johnson, Bernard Hopkins, and Mohamed Sanu.
So you got 2 Buccaneers in Tier 3, and is that 2 Patriots in Tier 4?
Yes, 2 Patriots in Tier 4.
I see a trend here that I'm not liking. I want more diversity in my tiers.
EOC, here we go.
I want more PPR diversity.
So you want me to just put Mike Evans in Tier 5 and then put Edelman in Tier 1 and LaFell down in Tier 6? Is that what I should do?
Edelman or LaFell is going to be getting the ball, so they're not they shouldn't be in the same tier.
Why can't they both get the ball? Listen,
because
it's
not going to happen against the Colts.
Well, the
Colts are going to stop one of those 2.
Well, if they do, Gronkowski's going to have a huge game, which we probably expect, and Tim Wright could step up. But listen, Edelman had 9 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown last game on 10 targets. He's getting a lot of targets still, so he's a good choice. And then Brandon LaFell, he has 5 TDs over his last 6 games, 24 targets in his past 2 games with 2 touchdowns. I'm going to play both of these guys.
What about Andre Johnson? He's got a quarterback now who actually throws the ball like a real man, not Matt Schaub who throws it to the other team, or Ryan Fitzpatrick who throws it to the other team, or Case Keenum who throws it to the other team. Somebody might actually be able to get the ball to Johnson. He might be able to climb up to Tier 2.
Well, listen, if you're right, Andre Johnson and Bernard Hopkins, who are both Houston Texans, so you hate me even
so
more.
This is tier New England and Houston.
Yes, tier New England and Houston with a Cincinnati Bengals sprinkled on top.
Sprinkled on bottom.
But listen, if you're right about Mallett being the best quarterback they've put in so far, then Andre Johnson and Denard Hopkins got to be up at the top of tier 3 because they are actually playing better than tier 4
Numbers?
Tier 4 numbers,
Tier
yes.
4 talent.
Yeah, Mallett's a guy that never plays, so I actually put them lower on my list. And let's not forget, Cleveland's been killing it, like I've been saying.
Cleveland's garbage.
Tier 5, Brandon Cooks, Larry Fitzgerald, Keenan Allen, Ruben Randall, Reggie Wayne, and your boy, Martavis Bryant.
All Martavis Bryant does is catch touchdowns. He's the only player in NFL history to catch six touchdowns in his first 4 games of his career.
143 yards last week, huge.
80-yard TD. It wasn't garbage time, but the good news and what I really liked out of the play is he didn't give up. Ben was under some pressure, and Bryant looked for a spot on the field to get open. He hustled to it, and he hustled to the ball, and he made a big play for the offense. Even though it didn't get us what we needed, he never gave up on that play, and that's rare for a rookie.
Yeah, he was very tough to rank. I'm not sure where I want this guy yet. Everybody above him, I would own in fantasy, and I would be happy with it. And everybody below him starts to tell off a little bit, and maybe guys that I want to play certain weeks and sit certain weeks. Bryant is right in the middle, and I think he's going to take a step up before he takes a step back. But let's not forget, 6 TDs in 4 games. You can't score every game. One of these games, he's going to be shut out, and it's going to be a bad fantasy week.
Oh, he's going to score a touchdown in every single game he ever plays in.
If Big Ben played like he did his rookie year, he'd probably be 150-2 right now.
That'd be awesome.
Tier 6, Jordan Matthews, Doug Baldwin, James Jones, Pierre Garçon, Michael Crabtree, and Kendall Wright.
What about Michael Crabtree? Davis isn't getting the ball. I know you got Bolden ranked a little higher. He's obviously getting some catches, but if Bolden's the only one catching the ball in San Francisco, somebody's got to get some points for this offense. Why can't it be him?
It can be him, and this could be a game where he gets it done, but he gets it done so little that I am not going to trust him. He does get the targets. He has 7 or more targets in 7 of his last 8 games, but he only has 5 receptions or less in 6 straight, and he only has 1 touchdown in that span. He's a touchdown-dependent receiver. He's a big play guy, and Kaepernick's just not getting it done with him right now. So until it happens, I am not trusting these guys.
I think him and Kaepernick are both whiny crybabies.
Sanchez threw Matthews the ball a little bit last week. It was a surprise. People didn't see that coming. If you need to play someone, if you're tight, you got guys on buys, I think that's a viable option. There's going to be points scored if they're going to want to win the game.
I actually talked Matthews up a little bit last week. Like I was saying, I wasn't sure if I liked Matthews or Riley Cooper more with Mark Sanchez in a quarterback, but I decided on Matthews because he was a guy that just plays in the slot, and I don't like Mark Sanchez throwing to his outside receivers. I just don't see Mark Sanchez as a great quarterback that can go downfield to his outside receivers. I just see him as more of a guy trying to get the ball who's closest to him.
Well,
really.
everybody scrambled for Matthews because he obviously,
Yeah.
last week he had a big game, so I bet people picked him up quick.
Sanchez is happy if he doesn't run into somebody's ass and drop the football.
Tier 7, Andrew Hawkins, Marquise Colston, Greg Jennings, John Brown, Dwayne Bowe, and Michael Floyd, who I am completely disappointed in. I dropped him because I am sick of him.
I'm hearing good things about that John Brown down in Arizona. They say he's one of the hardest workers out there. He's always right at Larry's side, asking him questions, picking his brain, trying to learn the craft. They're working a lot after practice together. Brown just always seems to be open. He's making big plays all the time, and that's what they're going to need. Drew Stanton doesn't complete a lot of his passes, so he's going to have to make big plays on the ones that he does to be able to keep that offense moving.
John Brown has been very, very, very inconsistent this year, but when he has a big game, he has a big game. This is going to be a tough matchup for him against Detroit. We all know Detroit is a great defense, but he has big play potential, and all 5 of his TDs came in Cardinals home games, and they are playing at home, so I do like his chances of making a big play this week. And I would like to mention Tier 7 here has 2 Cardinals. How do you feel about that, Easy?
You're really running out of options then. Or I guess teams just have beast receivers all through and through.
Yeah, there's no reason 2 receivers can't get it done on the same team. However, Michael Floyd, he only has 13 catches in his last 6 games. Can you believe that? This guy has all the upside in the world. People actually came into the season thinking he was better than Larry Fitzgerald, who I should have put in the same tier to make you happier. But Michael Floyd he's completely irrelevant in fantasy football right now. The one plus, Drew Stanton actually made Michael Floyd look better earlier in the season. When Carson Palmer came back, Michael Floyd was nowhere to be found, and Larry Fitzgerald was making all the plays. So hopefully Floyd can start to get things going a little bit, but I'm not trusting it. Tier 8, Malcolm Floyd, Justin Hunter, Marcus Wheaton, Kenny Britt.
Kenny Britt's going to break out. He's got my man Sean Hill at quarterback. Everybody knows how much I hated Austin Davis. I never said anything good about him. Kenny Britt's the only weapon they got down there. I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it. One of these weeks I'm going to be right, and then I'm going to rub it in both your faces and say he should be in Tier 1.
Well, hopefully you're right. Maybe the move to Sean Hill will actually get Kenny Britt fantasy relevant. It's going to help the passing game. I definitely believe that, but he has 3 receptions or less in all but 1 game this season. He's just not getting enough receptions. He has to get more involved in this offense before he comes fantasy relevant, but I think Sean Hill might be the guy to do that. Tier 9, Devontae Adams, Jermaine Kearse, Wes Welker, Kenny Stills, and Andre Holmes.
Man, Welker just needs to hang it up and retire. He's 1 hit away from eating Gerber.
Yeah, either that or he's been freaking all mauled out, dude.
The problem with Denver is they have all the weapons in the world for Peyton Manning to throw to. There is no reason to get Wes Welker involved in this offense anymore.
He's white. He doesn't need to be out there.
It's a white out because he's done.
Tier 10, Stevie Johnson, Cordero Patterson, Riley Cooper, Jericho Cotchery, and Eddie Royal, who has been pretty much non-existent recently.
San Diego, Oakland, I don't know. They're bound to break out.
They are, but they also have Keenan Allen, who I still like, even though he's been so inconsistent. He has all the upside in the world. I think he's going to start taking a step forward, and I actually like Malcolm Floyd better than Eddie Royal. Royal had a hot start to the season, but he's just fell off a cliff. He's not worth the risk right now. 3 other receivers, Harry Douglas, Taylor Gabriel, and Andre Roberts. If there's nothing else out there, grab them up. Who knows? They get a little bit of playing time. Do something.
If you got them on your team, you probably lost already, but thanks for listening anyway.
Josh Gordon, go get him.
Kelvin.
Follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can check us out on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everybody have a great day. I hope your fantasy PPR leagues go PPR well.
RGTPR3.